That's right. This is the Monkey Business Podcast Show, and you are listening to the song Monkey Business at this time.
But the Skid Row version.
But the Skid Row version, that is correct.
One of these weeks we'll sneak in the Danger Danger version just to F with everybody.
See, I thought you were going to go with the Black Eyed Peas version.
Why in God's name would we ever do that?
Because we're fucking idiots.
We already don't have a whole lot of people listening. If
That's
we
a good
did
point.
That, we'd have zero.
That is a good point.
We'd have negative because I'd stop listening.
That would chase them away, wouldn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Yes, no, I agree. Speaking of Skid Row, though, is I read an interview that Rachel had did with somebody, and they're talking about the new album, and he's like amazed that the stuff that they're getting out for this new album, their last version of the United World Rebellion, he's like, I'm amazed how this stuff sounds. It's like so awesome.
You want me to tell you a secret?
Tell me a secret.
Listen close. Michael Wagner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think they heard you. Do it again.
Michael Wagner.
Okay.
Yeah. He'll do it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Why do you think Motley went back to Bob Rock?
Yeah. Well, they used Wagner for the first album too, so I hope this would be a good return to the old times. You know,
I think it will. I mean, they're still playing like they were.
Yeah, they still sound awesome, and I still love ZP. Oh, that reminds me. We got an email. We got a message from somebody named Sharon. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
And this is what it says, and I think it's hilarious. It says, I love listening to your podcast, and I want a Monkey Business Podcast shirt when I see you all on the X, Monsters of Rock cruise. I had to turn it off for a minute when you said ZP was better than Sebastian Bach. Please. But
well,
yeah. So and then she goes on to say, "I'll continue to listen because your interviews with Mick Sueda, Anthony Corder, and so many more are awesome. But I saw Sebastian 6 months ago. He's still got the pipes. I left in the middle of ZP Rose is what it says set last year. But I agree on everything else that you guys say. Keep on doing what you're doing. See you in Fort Lauderdale.
See, now that's nice.
That is a nice one.
And the cool thing about it is that, you know, everybody that goes on the cruise, everybody that goes to M3 and Rocklahoma and
all the festivals, right.
It's usually the same group of people.
Yeah.
I mean, not identically, but
but more or less, right.
Right. And the thing is everybody doesn't have to agree about every single thing. Like she said, I agree with everything except that. That's cool. That's fine.
Yep.
You don't have to. You know, just like some of the knuckleheads that want bands to stop playing together because one guy leaves. To me, that's ridiculous, but it is what it is.
Agreed.
And everybody can have their opinion because it's all about the music. That's why there's 800 million different bands.
Right. And whatever opinion you have is great as long as it coincides with mine. Right. Anyway, Sharon, give us a yell back and let me know what. Give me your address and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and,
you don't have to wait for the cruise.
Yeah. I'll get you a shirt or two out there.
We'll get it to you
fine.
prior, and you can wear it on the cruise.
Hey, there you go.
Hey, right?
Promotion
for the blackout photo.
Oh, that's right.
Just make sure you stand right up front so Eddie Trunk has to look at it. Let's quickly introduce our friend Greg, who's here in the studio with us, so he doesn't have to sit here in silence.
Oh no, that. I was going to get to that, but go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Well, I just did. So say hi, Greg.
Oh. Hey, what's going on?
This is the Greg that we always talk about. Like, hey, Greg, did you hear that? Hey, Greg, did you hear that? So I'm sure this is the guy that all those references are made about now.
Right, the guy that'll wake up out of his sleep at 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning to listen to this show after it gets posted, which we wouldn't even do.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
I don't do that. I have an issue staying up at this late to do the show, much less listening to it at a late time.
That's because you're old.
Shut your mouth. Shut up, Grandpa.
You're a grandpa too.
I know, but you're a new grandpa, so I can call you Grandpa now.
Well. So anyway, in addition to this won't even be a normal show.
No, it's going to be a lot shorter, I think.
This is going to be a not so normal show.
Just because there's not a lot of news.
No.
There's not, and the majority of stuff that I have to talk about today is Facebook related, sadly. I came across another post on one of the boards, and let me read you this post because I think it'll strike a nerve with you.
Do I know about this yet? Or were you saving it like you do?
No, I don't save anything. No, I told you about it. I just didn't give you details. It says, for anybody that has SiriusXM, Do you get disgusted listening to Boneyard and Hair Nation? Nothing but the same handful of hits over and over again. Not to mention the sound quality of Sirius XM flat out sucks. Back before the two companies merged, the Boneyard was great, but the merger ruined everything. Agree, disagree, don't care.
You know what, man? The only time I ever listen to Hair Nation anymore is if I happen to have a rental car or something that has it. I don't subscribe to it. I did once upon a time. Here's how much I don't care for Hair Nation. And I love the bands that they play, don't get me wrong. That's
absolutely.
why we do
Yes.
this. However, I bought my Jeep and I got a year's worth of the free Hair Nation.
Right.
Dude, the next day I changed out my radio and they kept sending me mailer after mailer. Hey, you haven't subscribed. Fucker, I'm not.
Fucker, I'm not.
So even for free, I didn't take them up on it.
See, I did when I first got my car, and I loved it because,
Right. You love it for
Local
the first
radio.
6 hours of it.
yeah, local radio was just kind of like,
Well, yeah.
It makes a lot to, be desired. What about you, Greg? What do you are you a fan of the Hair Nation stuff and all that stuff?
I was, but it's same repetitive stuff over and over and over. And Monday nights, I can't listen to it. I can't say why, though.
What's on Monday nights?
Eddie Trunk.
Oh, you can say it, man. You are not censored here.
The overgrown little boy.
Dump the trunk.
I like him on his TV show, on That Metal Show. But that's it. I don't
Yeah,
like his
But
radio
he's
show.
such a pompous ass.
Yes, but I don't like his radio show at all.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are times I'll be surfing on YouTube, and if I see like a portion of his show where he's talking to a guest or whatever, I'll check it out strictly for the fact
guest.
To the guest, yeah.
right, and
Right.
kind of to compare what we're doing with what he's doing. Now,
And let's be honest. I think if anybody's listening to this show, a lot of the times it's for the guests too.
Right.
They don't give a rat's ass about you or me or anything like that.
well, they should.
Okay,
I mean,
go
they
ahead.
should. We're fucking awesome. Going back to Eddie, I appreciate what he has done, like keeping.
Oh, absolutely. Keeping it
you know,
alive.
yeah. And I got to tell you, this I meant to bring this up. Over the weekend, I went record store shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like going to dig and see what I can find.
Right.
No shit. All of this genre of music, things that would have been $2-3 before, are now $12 and $14.
Really?
Yeah, this shit is making a resurgence, and they're cashing in on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like White Lion, you could have found that for 50 cents, like 2 years ago. Now it's $14.
Really?
Yeah,
So it's a regular CD now.
yeah,
Regular
And it's
price
used.
CD.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
yeah.
I've been to record store shopping in years.
Get on the wagon.
I mean,
man.
I used to get them I used to go to the dollar CD bins
Mhm.
and be like, "Oh, cool, this
Either
one's-"
that or you join the record clubs and Mick Sueda's name.
True story, but that's an old that's before this. But yeah, I mean, the dollars, the $4 CD things.
Yeah.
That was the way.
I mean, I'm not saying this is all because of Eddie Trunk, but I'll give him his due credit because he did. He did go out of the way. He keeps it going. Him and Jameson and the other one.
Florentine,
Yeah.
come with the other one.
I forget, man.
Call him what he is. He's an ambassador.
Yeah.
He's an
Yeah.
ambassador of 80s rock. I
He
mean,
is.
You just can't.
He is.
The other one that caused me a big ass 6-inch bruise on my arm.
Yeah, he
We'll
did.
I think I told you that story.
I was there.
Oh, that's right.
I took
That's
the
right.
picture.
Anyway,
You set him up, didn't you?
I helped, yes. But yeah, so I mean, do I think Eddie sometimes lets his head get a little bit big? I do. But-
Ace Frehley's a friend of mine, so I know what's going on.
But I also understand that you, like when he goes on the cruise or when he goes on this or when he goes on that, I think some, let me get a little specific. I think some drunk or high cruise goers feel more comfortable walking up to bother Eddie Trunk about shit than they would the artists. Because I think Eddie Trunk, because he's a fan, quote unquote, I think other fans feel like they can just go up and go, "Hey, Eddie, what do you think about this? Blah, blah, blah."
And you know what? Eddie doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. But
He doesn't care at all because he's the one that made that statement about, the fans don't, the bands, they don't want to see you. They don't want to hang out with
yeah.
you.
What do you call them? Cattle.
Cattle.
Right?
Cattle. But I don't think that's true.
Yeah. I don't either.
I mean, let's take Mick, for instance. Since we were just talking about Mick Sueda.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, on the cruise when you guys were there, I mean, you told me that you guys were going back to your room, and he's like, "Hey, let's go have a beer."
He did.
So
yeah, in his room.
Yeah,
it was his
room.
beer.
So I mean, that kind of stuff makes me think that Eddie doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. You know,
Either that or Eddie is only surrounding himself with the Tom Kiefers or some of the other
the
people
reclusive
who
ones,
who you don't see out and about as often.
right?
But I don't know. That's probably a discussion not even worth having right now.
Well, this post that I was talking to you about, though, I mean, there's a ton. It's got like 70 some odd replies about like, "Oh my God, I'm so tired of it. You know, take your damn hooligans holiday and shove it up your ass," and stuff like that. And it just goes on and on and on about like, you know, I can't stand doing this. I can't stand listening to this stuff anymore.
Yeah.
It is always the same crap. They do always play the same stuff. You know, I want to hear stuff like, where's that one post? I want to hear old stuff like old Tora Tora. I want to hear old stuff like early LA Guns that they don't play, deep cuts, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, that's what this whole post is about in one of the news groups that I'm subscribed in. And I'm like, you know what? Somebody should make something like that, because that's the kind of crap that, you know, that's when radio was good. That's
Right.
when music was,
Right.
to me, you know, that's when that stuff was good, when you could hear a Cinderella going into a Warrant, into an old school Queensryche, into
Maybe some Nelson.
Nelson, sure,
Yeah.
you know, going into Rhino Bucket right after that or something, you know? I mean, just all that stuff, the stuff that we listen to, the stuff that this show is based on.
Right.
You know, I think that's what Hair Nation should be, but it's
Right.
not.
But it's not.
And
It's not. So
and somebody should step up
somebody.
and make that happen.
But who?
Greg, would
Yes.
you like to step up?
I would love to step up.
Ken, would you like to step up?
I'm stepping. What about you, Moose?
I'll roll up,
I'm glad you said it, not me.
but I'm not going to step. I'm a big guy. Yeah.
So if you were to take the old school radio like you were talking about, but inject 10 pounds of crack into it, that would be the ideal station.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
even if it was like take a band like Tora Tora. Since you mentioned them,
Uh-huh.
what if you were to hear classic Tora Tora, but then an hour or two later you heard current Tora Tora?
Yeah, see, I think that's what they should do.
Because I think a lot of people who enjoy the old school music don't really know about the new school from the old school.
Exactly. That's the problem. Granted, if you're not a Motley Crue, if you're not a big name like that, nobody's going to know that you put out new stuff. Like Whitesnake just put a new album out. Did you
Right.
know that?
Oh, yeah.
We knew that.
Well, we knew that, yeah.
The people going to their concerts, they don't know that.
No, they're going to hear the 87 album.
Right. They're going like, what is this song? I don't know this song.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? They've had a friggin' 30-some-odd year career, maybe 40, with like, 12, 13, 14 albums?
I'd be willing to bet that most people that go to the Whitesnake shows don't know that Winger's guitar player is
It's
playing
like,
for them.
exactly. Exactly. So,
Even more so, bands like Spread Eagle, Kick Tracy, Taiketo, South Gang, Babylon AD.
preach, brother, preach.
You can go on and on and on and on. They may have had one single, maybe two, that got played for 3 to 4 weeks on radio.
Yeah, and then something new
and
came
stopped.
out. And
guess
then,
what? That song didn't stop kicking ass.
Yeah,
It just
exactly.
stopped getting played.
Yeah. Well, I think that means it is time to present to you and the world Hard as a Rock Radio.
She likes it real hot, she likes it real
That's the kind of stuff I want to hear on the radio all the time.
All the time.
Thank God you and me and Greg have been your saviors and created. Yes, I said saviors. Don't be laughing at me. We have been your saviors for this, and we've created Hard as a Rock Radio. What that station is exactly what we just said.
Yep.
It will play all of those great tracks that you don't hear anymore. This is starting to sound like a Time Life CD commercial, isn't it?
You get 12
You
CDs.
get 12 CDs.
For $14.
But you're still going to hear all the hits.
Yeah.
You're going to hear the hits from Extreme. You're going to hear the hits from Def Leppard, just not 13 times in the same day.
Right.
And you're going to hear other stuff that you probably haven't heard of ever. Population One. Do you know what that is? You guys know what it is here in the room, but you listening, do you know what it is?
Yep. Population One, Drama Gods.
I had no idea who they were until you introduced them to me. Awesome shit.
Right. And that's the whole idea of this.
Right.
You know, it's to remember the songs that you love and also remember the songs that you love that you forgot about.
That's it. This is the Spotify playlist that you can't quite get right every time you go to make one. You're like, I'm going to make a list that's going to be so awesome, and you forget songs. Oh, I got to make this song on there. I got to make this song on there. This is it. You don't have to make that Spotify playlist. You don't have to make that Apple iPod thing go on there.
All you got to do is punch in one web address and you're good because it's 24/7.
Hardasarockradio.rocks is that address. And Greg, have you ever heard of the band called Green Apple Quickstep?
I have not.
Would you like to hear a
I
song?
would love to hear it.
This song was a decent. It got a decent airplay, right? Locally, anyway.
It was like I had just talked about Spread Eagle and them. It was kind of the same thing. For 4 to 6 weeks, it didn't stop playing.
Yes.
And then it just fell off the planet.
And it's a really catchy, awesome song. So here it is, Green Apple Quickstep with
Dirty Water Ocean.
Water ocean.
Oh yeah. What do you think of that, Greg? Now, the first time you're hearing it, what do you think of that?
That was freaking incredible.
And
It'll be in my playlist now forever.
Well, it will be if you listen to the station here.
Right.
Hard as a Rock Radio.
Rocks. That song to me,
Yes.
you get in, you kick a whole bunch of ass, and you get out because it's not a long
Yeah.
song,
Nope.
That's true.
but it's like Tang. There's a whole bunch of it concentrated.
Tang?
Yeah, man. There's a whole bunch of it concentrated into a small area.
But yeah, so what, even though that's an older song from, what is it, 91? 90, 91?
I forget.
Something along
I wanna
those
say
lines, though.
93. Although that wasn't technically quote unquote the hair era, like I don't know if Green Apple Quickstep would have been lumped in with them.
Yeah, because they were definitely out during the grunge era.
Right. However, I would put them in the category with, say, I Mother Earth or Our Lady Peace.
Right.
Just on the outer edge,
But still
cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Stuff that you should still know about, but
Right.
probably don't.
Right. Because there's tons of songs that have a different genre feel to them.
Right.
And, I don't know, man. It's
No,
still
I
a
mean,
kick-ass song.
they were one of the one-hit wonders of the rock world, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even call it a hit, but it was a really good song.
Well, for those who are
So-
into music,
Yes.
knew of it.
But what we want to focus on with this station here is not to be, this is about us. This isn't about Ken and myself. This isn't about Greg. This isn't about any of us. This is about the artists. This is about the songs. Just like Mr. Stephen Todd Barnett always says,
The song,
the song. And that's what this is all about, the song. It doesn't matter if it's an old song. Doesn't matter if it's a new song. We're even going to have like brand new stuff, like Enough's Enough, for instance. Let's just pick them out of the air because they were one of the random ones that were announced
M3.
for
They
at
played
M3,
M3.
Monsters
Killed
of
it
Rock
in
next
M3.
year.
Killed it
Exactly.
in 3.
Yep.
So recently we had Daniel Hill call in. So when he called in, we had this idea, and I think it's a great one. And what we had him do was introduce his own song. So it's him introducing an Enough's Enough tune. And, well, as a matter of fact, here, this is what it sounds like.
Hey, this is Dan Hill from Enough's Enough. I got a copy of this song 8 hours before recording on it, and it turned out to be the lead single on our record, Diamond Boy. Here is Metal Heart.
It's time to go. You got a metal heart. Now everyone is pissed. You're just a little part. Because you still exist. I'm gonna run away. 'Cause you're a fleeting cyst. I'll wasted. You broken metal heart. You always take the piss. You're just a bone apart. I'll give you one last kiss. You broken metal heart. A calculating twist. You're just a bone apart. I'll give you one last kiss. You broken metal heart. A calculating twist. You're just a bone apart. I'll give you one last kiss. You broken metal heart. You always take the piss. I'll give you one last kiss.
So there we go. You get great music introduced by the artists themselves, as many as we can get.
Yes.
Everybody seems to be on board with it. And for those of you who are, the keyboard ninjas, the guys will get paid
Yeah,
for us
absolutely.
playing their music. So
Absolutely,
there's-
because we're doing this through a platform that does pay the artists.
There's no piracy going on. We're not stealing anybody's music. We're not
Yep.
profiting from it.
Everything you're going to listen to is in our own private CD collection.
Right. It's just for us and you and anybody else that goes to that website
Right.
to enjoy.
And if it's not in our collection, then we go pay for it and we download it. Or we go look through all of the CD shops and such like that to find the diamond in the rough.
Well, I don't know if I paid for it all because I think some of my CDs I've shoplifted over the years when I was younger. So
Do you own them now?
I do own them. I think.
All right, statute of limitations. There you
yeah, I
go.
think
There you
we
go.
own them now.
So you're fine.
At that point, whether the retailer made money on it or not doesn't matter because the record company and the band got paid.
One way or another.
Just
they
for the
got paid,
record,
exactly.
we are paying streaming royalties.
Exactly. So the artists that you hear will definitely get their 0.3 of a penny every time you hear
God,
them,
that's
which is
sad.
sad. It really is sad.
You can be mad that all the original bands are not the same, but we did pay for this.
Exactly. So if there's something that you like to hear, I mean, let us know.
Yeah.
You could easily get a hold of us here, and when we post this, we're going to put an email address up there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
we
if
have
there's
a
something you
Facebook.
want to hear, if there's something we're doing wrong, if you have a suggestion, let me know.
Hard as a Rock Radio on Facebook as well.
That's right.
And so also, we will be putting the Monkey Business podcast, which you're listening to currently, will also be played on Hard as a Rock Radio.
For all we know, you could be listening to this on Hard as a Rock Radio right now, because by the time this actually comes out, it should be online as well.
It may be. It may
Assuming I got all my ducks in a row and I know and I've got plans to do it. But yeah, you'll even be able to hear our old podcasts from the old shows.
Oh, you're doing that?
I'm going to put some of those in there, I think.
All
Yeah.
right. We may have to do some editing.
There's no editing. There's no editing in this crap. You know that.
It'll be fun.
No, you guys called those the Roots episodes, right? Because
Right.
they were so long.
Yeah, they
right.
were long. They were two and a half
Yeah,
hours
sometimes
long,
we
yeah.
had 2.5 hour shows, and it was just rambling and playing
was.
music and rambling.
It was
and
fun,
playing
but it was
music.
crazy.
Yeah. And I think if anybody listened to those, they probably got 45 minutes into it in an hour and be like, yeah, I'm kind of done with it.
Yeah, that was a cool song they played, but now I'm
But
finished.
let's wait till next week to see what else I got going on. Guests were very few and far between.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure they're funny. You guys make me laugh. You make me laugh.
but that was then.
yeah,
This
but that's
is
not.
now.
You're looking at us right now. That's why you're laughing.
So everybody check it out. Give us some feedback because I you know what? It's funny because during the day, because we've been testing it and listening to it for the last 3 to 4 weeks, and I'll be at work working and get a message from Moose on my phone saying, I can't get out of the car. I've been sitting in front of the store for 30 minutes because every song that comes on is good, and I don't want to not listen to it.
That is true. That is true.
So-
Guilty. 20
Right.
minutes at work this morning. I
Yeah.
did not get out of my car. I walked in 20 minutes late.
So, I mean, if this is happening to us, hopefully it's going to carry over and happen
Yeah.
to anybody who listens to it.
I mean, granted, sure, we're listening. We are a little bit more proud of it, probably. And this was just a little idea that sparked out. And then I'm like, let's try this and let's do
Well-
this. But then once the more songs got added on and more
Right.
songs, I'm like, whoa.
Right.
But that's what's cool. You guys have turned me on to music that I've not ever heard or I've forgotten about. I'm excited when we get, people actually listening to it, that they will send us, ideas and suggestions to listen
Absolutely, yeah. Like if you're going like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys don't have Yngwie Malmsteen on there.
Yeah. Well, and
Well, we probably won't put it on there, but we'll definitely listen to your idea. No. Seriously though, I mean, we'll definitely take your stuff into consideration because it's your station.
Right. Right. And that's the thing. We've been saying it with the podcast, that it's for fans by fans. And that's what we are.
This is
Half of
definitely an
the-
extension.
Half of the musicians that we talk to are fans of music.
to. Oh, wow, yes.
You can stand with anybody. Like on the cruise, I stood and talked to Kay Fig, who will be on the show next week, by
That's
the
right.
way.
Yep.
I talked to him for an hour and a half drinking beers, talking about all kinds of music.
Yeah, you told me all the stuff you were talking about with him.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe some of the stuff that came up in
And
that
it's great.
conversation.
And Brandon Cook, another guy. I mean, he's forever posting. He is a fan of music, period.
And holy crap, that new band of his.
You damn right.
Holy crap.
Yep. Check it out, The Loyal Order. It is played on Hard as a
Yeah.
Rock Radio.
And there will be more on there too from that band.
God, that song gives me goosebumps
Oh.
just thinking about it. That is
Every
a great
time.
rock song.
Every time I hear it, it's
Nailed it.
Yep. Check it out. Listen to it. Feedback is great. We'll take it. Get on Facebook. That's probably the best place to message us.
Yeah, it really is. And even the bad feedback is helpful
Yeah,
because then we know who to ban. No.
You're such a dick.
Yeah, no. Even the bad feedback is helpful because that way we know exactly what we're doing wrong.
Yeah. But even if you're hearing this and you're friends with any of the three of us on our personal Facebook pages, message there too, because we don't really care, And don't think that what you're hearing now is the finished product, because it's not. It's going to constantly grow and it's going to constantly get better.
Yes, there's like probably what did we just come up with? Like maybe even 10, not even 10% of the music that we plan on putting on there
Yeah.
is
yeah.
on there right now,
Yeah, 10 to 12 maybe.
and that's like 1,000 songs right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna put a ton of stuff on there that you're gonna be pleased as punch. That's right, I said pleased as punch. Don't know why.
Because you
Came-
look like the Kool-Aid man.
I was going to say, I'm waiting for him to
Fuck
break
you.
through a wall. Oh, yeah.
Wow. All right, I'm done. Forget it. I'm done with this show. You guys are on your own. Screw it. I'm pulling the plug on all this shit right now. God,
No,
I hate
but-
you.
All I can tell you is our goal for this channel is to be the go-to radio station for anybody who loves this type of music. Like when you get in your car, click that app button, which there will be one, or go to the website or whatever the case may be. And once you put it on, we don't want you to be able to turn it off, period.
And that is why we want your input on this station.
Yep.
Just yep.
That's it. I'm
Hell yeah.
There you go.
I am convinced that once people start listening to this,
Mm-hmm.
they won't stop.
I haven't.
Me either.
I haven't stopped. I used to be Hair Nation, and with the occasional Octane thrown in.
This is Harrier Nation.
This is Hair Nation. So, all right. Well, so enough about that. Hard as a Rock Radio.rocks, not .com, .rocks.
Right.
That's a thing now, apparently. So, Hard as a Rock Radio.rocks.
It'll take you straight to the page. You push the play button, and then you sit back and go, God damn, this is good.
God damn, those boys are smart.
Also, Hard as a Rock Radio on Facebook.
Yes. Join all that stuff. Let us know what's going on. Even pop in and say hi. But all right, enough of the Hard as a Rock stuff for right now.
Yep.
We want to let you know next week on this very show.
We are going to have Kevin Figueredo from Drama Gods, Population 1, Dark Desert Eagles, and most of you know him as the great hair drummer of Extreme.
The gray-haired drummer.
No,
is that what
not
you said?
gray, great.
great. I think he's a gray hair drummer.
he's
I'm
got
like,
great
I've
hair.
seen that guy.
Great hair. I mean, it's like the perfect perm.
He does. He's got a white man's afro.
Yeah.
Dig it.
It's very
Makes him
soft.
like 6 inches taller than what he really is.
Right. It's also very soft.
I don't
did
want.
not
I don't
touch
want to
it.
know. I don't want to know why you know that.
Actually,
Moose, trade seats with me.
you did touch it.
What? I don't know this story.
Different story, different day.
Nope. We got plenty of time. What's going on now?
All righty. So that's it. We've wasted enough time with our giant infomercial.
Yes.
But yeah, check it out.
And you will be pleasantly surprised, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so.
With Kevin being on the show next week. I can't wait for that, by the way.
I know. I'm excited.
Well, anyway, but with him being on the show next week, I think it's only fitting that we end this show with a song concerning him in some way, shape, or form that is also on this Heart as a Rock radio that we're doing.
True.
So what song we're going to do?
We are playing Population 1,
Population 1.
right? We're going to end the show with a song called QPD.
All right, let's hear it.
All right. We will see you next week.
Greg, thanks for coming out and hanging out
Yep.
with us for a little
Yeah,
bit.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Again, Hard as Rock Radio.rocks. Hard as Rock Radio on Facebook. And, of course, always go to the Monkey Business stuff, too, but you've heard all that before. So here we go, QPD. See you later.
Gonna tell you all a story about a girl who's just informed me that all she needs to love me is a quiet, peaceful day. Yeah, she don't need no shiny diamonds or a fancy car to drive in. She just needs me there beside her on a quiet, peaceful day. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. Tell all the world she loves me better than you, and I'm going to tell all the world. Gonna tell you all a story about a girl who's just informed me that she's leaving me this morning. It's a quiet, peaceful day, yeah. She'll be leaving with her new boy, wearing brand new shiny diamonds. They'll drive off into the sunrise in the new Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. She loves me better than you, and I'm going to tell all the world. She loves me better than you, and I'm dying to tell all the world. Tell you all a story about a boy who's feeling lonely, always dreaming up these stories on a quiet, peaceful day. Yeah.